Pastor George Borgard, and this is another Higher Things video short. God isn't the way you think he is. That's the subject of today's Higher Things video short. Hey, if you love our videos, if you're learning about your Christian faith from places that you never expected to learn about your faith from, a Lutheran pastor and his Jack Russell Terrier. Want this, buddy? Got it. Go ahead and like and subscribe today. You can also go to support.higherthings.org and give today. Your tax-deductible gift keeps Higher Things, a youth organization which is all about passing the faith on to the next generation, keeps us going over the shoulder. All right, so God isn't the way you think he is. Take a look at this Sunday's traditional gospel lesson for the one-year series, which is Mark 7, 31 to 37. Jesus is in a Gentile area. They bring to him a guy who's deaf and has a speech impediment, and they begged him to lay his hands on him. And Jesus takes the guy aside and he does something completely different. See, everybody expected him to just heal the guy. Just heal the guy. He's right there. Lay hands on him. Heal him. Do the thing you do, Jesus, and heal him. Oops. Bad toss on my part. Instead, Jesus takes the guy away from the crowd and he puts his fingers in the guy's ears. What? Spits and touches his tongue. And then he looks up to heaven and he sighs. What kind of God is this? Well, if you were just sort of deciding on how you would make God or deciding on how you would make Jesus, without reading the Gospels, you would think that he would just wave his hand over the sky and do his thing. But instead, the Jesus of the Scriptures takes the guy aside, wet-willies the guy, fingers in ears, spits, touches the dude's tongue. Did he spit on the dude's tongue? I don't know. Did he spit on the side? I don't know. Spits, touches the guy's tongue, and then says one word after groaning, Ephatha, be opened. Back in your bed, buddy. Back in your bed. It's like an incoming missile. He doesn't know where it is. Anyway, the point of this is, and the guy's healed. But the point of this is, don't assume Jesus is or Jesus will be the type of Jesus that you want him to be. How do you find out how God is? How do you find out how Jesus is? Well, you find out how Jesus is by reading the Scriptures. Read the Gospels. Don't say, well, the God I believe in isn't this way, or I don't believe God's this way. I would have never expected Jesus to be a spitting, fingers in the ears, groaning, Ephatha kind of God. You wouldn't either. So to find out how Jesus is, to find out how God is, we read the Scriptures. We read the Gospels. That is the only way to find out how God truly is. We can't trust our feelings. We can't trust our thoughts. We can't trust what we do. Instead, we read the Gospels and we see Jesus do stuff. That's how God is. He's a spitting, wet-willied, fingers in ears, groaning, sighing God who heals the guy who needs him to heal him. And this also will help you with where's God? Well, God is in places where we wouldn't expect. He's in the doctor who helps us with our infection. He's in the nurses who administer our medicine in the hospital. He's in our counselor who gives us good words, unless the guy disagrees with Scripture or the girl disagrees with Scripture. He's in our parents who tell us where to go to school. And he's in our coworkers who tell us that, this might be better for us. Where God is where he puts himself, though, most certainly for us. In the Word, in the water, and in his body and blood. God is where he puts himself, and we wouldn't expect to find him in the waters of our baptism. We wouldn't expect to find him in the words of a dumb pastor, and we wouldn't expect to find him in the bread and wine, which are his body and blood. God is the way he he delivers himself to be. Spit, groaning, fingers in our ears, down where we are. Nothing is too gross for him that you do. That's the sort of God he is. And you only learn about this Jesus, who is bloodied, crucified, dying, dead, raised from the dead. You only hear about this God that is for you in the scriptures, in the word. God reveals himself in the scriptures. God makes himself known to us, and he's more different and he's more better. We could never come up with this God on our own. Nor could we come up with where he puts himself for us in the word, in the water, in his body and blood. Think about it. I'm Pastor George Borkart, and this has been another Higher Things video short.